What can I do for you?
I want to use this space to explore about non-material value. I've been researching and experimenting for a while with generating money resource through offering my non-material value since last 2 years. And I noticed that I've I celebrate evolvement, like growth and into be able to source um, money with what I bring into the space, with the clarity I bring, and this is the necessity for this space started specifically in that request I did in the women's group about for people to tell me what is the no material values that you see that I can exchange for money. And then you brought that. I think you know what is the no material values that you bring, and I agree with that. Uh, I have clarity of the qualities that I bring into when I'm in the spaces. And my edge right now is creating possibilities and how I want to use the space, creating possibilities of exchanging money for that. So an example, today a woman texted me asking, "Are you available to hold 30 minutes space for me to research about pressure?" In that moment, I I'm already yes, because I love to hold space for people. I love to hold space. And then it comes that question, if I ask money for that 30 minutes, is does she will want to go with it? Is she asking because she wants me to hold space? Or she's asking because she knows that I've been offering free spaces?
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the questions that I was navigating today. And I did the experiment of communicating like, yes, I'm a yes to hold space for you, and I'm exchanging 20 New Zealand dollars for this space. Are you a yes? And now I'm in the gap and the fear of the answer. I don't know yet. Um, so this is what is alive now.
Yeah, thank you. So I hear that you have clarity about non-material value that you bring. And the struggle is to put that together with finances, to ask for money, actually, and or not even to ask for money, but actually to make it so that make it so that to stand in that value so radically that people get it and they want it is an exchange happening with finances, that you're sourcing a financial exchange.
Yes. And one more piece that I want to bring in is the building the circle.
Hmm.
So I'm in the edge of growing, learning the skills to grow my circle besides possibility management. Um, because I noticed that mainly my circle is in possibility management. It's the people that is already in really in committed to transformation and healing, and usually these people like the main collaboration that I have is a lot of exchange, no material value exchange. And I appreciate very much this. Like I hold space for you today, and then this person hold a HP for me next week or next month. It is like this team quality. Um, and I am with the research how to build my circle when I'm not tapping in. Um, yeah, like how it goes the next layer of building my circle. And one of the steps is really to offering events and workshops in different places like university.
Mm.
So I could just throw that on my bench that I was figuring out ways to go to Mexico in July, and Monica invited to give a work talk in a university. So these ways of expanding to another places that is more scary to go.
Yeah. Okay, so there's these three elements. I think like I hear like one element is to, I think for you it's more to hone down and to clarify what are what are the things that you want to bring into the world right now or for, I mean, essentially this is game world building, a game world building conversation. How do you build out your circle? How do you what kind of offerings do you bring? And how do you ask for what is the exchange for that? But basically what would help is if you stood in a bigger thing of, okay, what for? So this is like, what is your non-material value that you want to offer right now? And for which purpose going into the future? How to generate income from that, like so that you can keep doing what you love doing, that you can keep delivering your non-material value, and how to build your circle to support that. Yeah. So
Yes.
I would like to start with the first thing, which is like, what are actually the things that you really have a yes for that come through you naturally? And like my offer in the Telegram group came mainly because I heard these legends about you. I heard these legends about you basically holding space, co-holding space for the possibility laboratory with Anna, that you were thriving, that you were really navigating space, holding space, and that you brought so many impulses, and the village celebrated you for that. And so it's like, okay, this is your non-material value already. And how, and then the question is more like, okay, how do you translate that, or what is it there? How do you translate that into an offering that people can get that are in the village, but also that can branch out into other parts? Like what I've noticed is that in your being everything, you have so many interests that it's like you're planting a lot of seeds, but then in which soil? And so there's all these different interests, and then my invitation would be to refine what are the seeds that you want to plant that you also want to water. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going deeper into maybe 2 or 3 offerings, exploring
Mm.
that rather than spreading out, spreading out, spreading out.
Yes, thank you for putting words on that, because I think this is some of the limitations of that I limit creating possibilities in that area. I since I started offering my non-material values, I go like the image that Anna gave me is like you know that water in the garden
Mm-hmm.
that springs like that, and then
A sprinkler, yeah.
waters, yes, and throw water in all directions. Um, it's something like that that I experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel scared of choosing like three things because I feel scared of being uh feel scared of being seen like, oh, Gabriela is this and this and this, and this is like I feel scared of being defined.
And
I
who
want to
who
be in
could
that,
who could define you?
like, I don't know, mm, the people in the village, people who yeah, the people in the village, like you, anyone. I feel fear that anyone define me, like if I say, okay, my seed is coaching because I love to hold coaching sessions and create. So one of the non-material values that I bring is that I have the capacity to invent, process, and really go with the invention of the now. I can invent anything while the process is happening to unlock the next small bit. Mm, so if I say, okay, I'm a coach, I feel scared that people will expect me to be in a certain way, and I feel scared of limiting my freedom of becoming. Um,
And where is your center when you do that? When you're giving the other people the power to define you, right? Do you get
Well,
that?
no, I define myself. My fear is that I define myself, and then I declare I'm holding space for this.
Hmm.
This is the speciality I'm taking a stand for.
So you're
So I
scared of,
choose.
yeah, and you're scared of taking a stand because like you're limiting yourself and others will limit you in a way.
Yes, in that point I give my center when
Hmm.
I feel that fear, and then when I give the point I give my center is the expectation
Hmm.
um,
To the
of
expectation
someone
that
saying,
others have. Yeah.
as someone come and say, "Oh, you are a coach or like you're a trainer and you are behaving like that. Like, how come?"
Hmm.
So this is an emotional fear that I have written down
Hmm.
about that.
Will you go through that?
You mean now?
Not right now, but like,
Uh,
writing it
yeah.
down is one part, but like, are you committed? Like, will you commit
Yes.
here with me to go through that
Yes. Yes. I want to go through that through the
by
next
by
week.
when? In the next week?
Next week.
Okay,
Yeah. The gremlin transformation. I'm working on that.
okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's a big key. It's like, no one can take that freedom away from you to redefine yourself. Just like you're saying, you have this knack of reinventing a process. So no one could take away that capacity that you have to reinvent yourself all the time. So if you're placing that either as a prison on yourself or as a prison from the outside on yourself, then yeah, then you're blocking yourself there. And all these specialties, they need to be invented. Like your specialty needs to be invented, or your special flavor of an existing specialty needs to exist, needs to be invented. And so that is one block where you then also, it's like then you almost have to stay this sprinkler thing so that you don't get imprisoned. But the prison is not something, it's something that you're building. You get that? It's like you need to stay a fugitive, not to get locked up, but the locking up is what you do yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense mentally, and I can
Hmm.
feel that my heart is like that emotional fear of being in
Hmm.
prison
Hmm.
by another person. It's like the grumbling research is like how my grumbling creates the prison before someone imprisoned me.
Hmm.
This is
Yes.
the piece of that
Yeah.
lens
Yeah.
around what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's better
one.
for me to prison myself than someone else.
Yeah. I mean, that's a common gremlin strategy to do what you're scared of yourself so that the others don't have control and you're in control. But you're creating the
Yes.
same result, actually. It's just you
Yes.
know when and how. Yeah.
Yeah. So putting that aside and
Mm-hmm.
going into taking your offer,
Mm-hmm.
um, three things that is alive
Yes, go.
that I want to water it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. The first thing that comes is that journey I'm experimenting with of the conscious feeling. So I'm experimenting with having a series of five different trainings in a row, starting with Rage Club, then Fear Club, Sadness Club, Joy Club, and Creation research team. And the seed in that, and I don't know if it's a project or what it is, the seed is that click that happened in the Village Lab for me about the feelings being the source of creation. So this piece of invention and creation, it's something that is really turning me on, and that I feel pissed off of some people that I'm working on that they think that archiarchy is possibility management.
Mm-hmm.
When possibility management is upgrade of hotware to archiarchy. Archiarchy it's like an open wild land to be explored and invented. So people enter in possibility management and want, okay, there's possibility coaching, rage club, fear club, game world building, and it's like that, and 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 I care about that opening, that invention. So my purpose in holding space for that journey is to unleash that permission to thrive and to gain back that muscle of I can invent.
Mhm.
And this is a new experiment because I've been holding Rage Club until the last time I held a lot. Rage Club is about this and this and this, and I'll do this and this and this. And for me, now it's the name's Rage Club, Fear Club is just an excuse to play and
Mhm.
to create whatever will happen. So this is something that is really alive right now.
Mhm.
Another thing that is coming and going, and now it's coming again with the invitation of the university, is the seed of holding space in universities, of being a bridge to an interface with the academic world, with young adults.
For what?
So,
An interface for what?
um,
Or a bridge to what?
an interface for learning, um,
Learning
an
what?
interface for learning to think. Um, this seed is really I started to go out and then go in, and I don't have still so many words or clarity. Uh, I started with that game world or area of 18 what now? That is this idea of having a game world where young adults uh, can come as I put University of Life. I don't know really what is it. It's something about this connection with the learning, the joy of learning, and that this authority, that the learning power is in you and not in out there.
Do you
Um,
notice that you're squashing your seed already by saying, I don't know what it is, when you actually know what it is? You
yeah.
don't know it here, it's not all mapped out, but in your, I don't know where, somewhere in your being, you know.
Mm, yeah, I did not notice that before.
Yeah,
Thank you.
keep going. Like letting your heart speak
But
about this. Yeah, go.
it's the interface is of the possibility that the learning is inside. The seed of the learning is inside and not out there in an institution. So it's an interface of gaining back the center from institutions for learning. It's an interface of a bridge between mm, dependence to discover, to research, to learn into something, and bridging into I am an experimenter and I can go to university and I can go to a course, to a training, to anywhere, but I am a learning being. And this seed got awakened in the village lab with the deep research about feedback. I feel so sad about the level of extraction we had from learning. And there's something that's it about that. The extraction from our being, from learning skills, learning basic skills like washing hands or playing a guitar or drawing something, unto learning skills the world of possibility management, that is like inner navigation skills or communication skills or relating skills. This process of learning, the way I learn to play guitar is the way I learn to pay attention. So I can learn anything, and anything is a doorway to the way I learn.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you. I get
And I
how
notice
these, yeah,
you
go.
and I notice I feel very scared of letting it unfold, because what you said of, I can sense that it's not mapped out. These things I'm speaking now, it is not what I already know. Um, like this is a seed I want to cultivate. It's what coming now, and it's and I feel joy also. I can feel my body vibrating in my heart and in my hands.
Mm. Thank you. Is there
What are you gonna say?
is there a like, yeah, I was going to say that do you notice how this is totally related to the first part that you mentioned, that invention, learning to invent? It's like the rapid learning means that humans get empowered, these younger people get empowered to become inventors as well, because they learn to learn, rapid learning. And by rapid learning, they get to learn to invent also. It's like the invention. Like it seems like it's the same seed, just um in a different soil maybe or in a different environment.
Mm,
So it's like the one seed you're planting into the possibility management circle, and this other seed is planted into a university, like a youth education environment, like modern culture as a bridge. So it's a different, yeah. Do you notice that? It's the same. So it comes from the same place somehow in you, seems.
I did not notice that before. When you speak, I can sense that, yes. And the quality of the is, I can feel that it's two different qualities. Where this first seed, it is a more transformational, intense initiation space, and a higher level of commitment from the people that is a yes to take part. And the
And from
another,
you,
and from me,
because I
yes,
could only sense your emotional body there. Yeah, from you. There's a higher commitment from you.
yes,
And keep going. I
yes.
interrupted you. Go.
And it's thrilling. Is I can feel that it's a higher level of commitment to really don't go with anything and invent and unleash this power of creation by doing it. So yes, I agree. And the second one is something more um bridge. It's not that it's not transformational, but it's more connected with with um bridging quality. It's more village within quality. It's a different quality, I sense.
Mhm.
Or igniting. There's more energy of igniting the curiosity and the fire. It's like, oh, I never thought about that. I can learn something from what I want to learn.
Mhm.
Mm, so it's a different language, is a different way of communicating also, I think.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
the third layer,
Mhm.
and I think it's also coming from the same source, is this research about mm, theater and improvisation and games. So like yesterday, I held this attention gymnastic that I'm holding to practice attention, the attention muscle, and we were experiencing with playing each other's box. And I'm loving to research the humor or the conscious theater as a way to create gap to the being to move. So I felt so much joy when I saw a person that is really stiff playing the another person box and finding totally new ways of moving available that usually in the daily life it was not available for her before. So this access for new possibilities to move, it's igniting me to research and to enter improvisation theater group or something like that. And I'm I consider to offer something in the future related to that, to this theater creating space, and it's something that comes and goes also. I remember I offered a mass training last year with Martin Salonda that in the end did not happen. There was no registrations, but it was that necessity that came and is coming again now. That research. So if I
Yeah.
would name three things that is on top and is really alive and that I'm feeling joy of researching and speaking about, and that is my edge, that are my own edges um, in my life, I name it these three areas that are interconnected. By speaking out, I can see it.
Yeah, and I mean the interconnection can be useful, and at the same time, you don't have to limit it by that. And it's like, yeah, there is. So the interesting question about the interconnection is for me more like, okay, there's a game world in you that wants to be birthed, and it somehow has to do with this invention force or empowering humans to initiate and then invent archaearchy through themselves. And there's different ways how that can express. And these three things you already named, like yes. So what would it be like to I sometimes get this image of, okay, if my heart really wants something, like if I have a yes to something, like, or like if you, in this case, you have a yes to these three things, like, will you pick one and run with it? Like run for life with it. It's like this thing, I'm going to run into the world. I'm going to bring this at all costs. I will do what it takes to make this happen. And that means you offer workshops, you go and speak with people, you put yourself out there and you just do everything, whatever it takes to succeed with that. So you go through the emotional healing processes, you take your gremlin on the leash, you feed your gremlin, you collaborate with others, you ask for money, you I don't know, yeah, you ask for funding, you go and do dangerous tasks, you improvise your life so that this can exist in the world. Yeah. So yeah. And I feel scared because I'm not sure that you need to limit yourself to one thing, but that would be a question that I want to leave with you now. It's like, what would be the one of those three? So write those, they're now recorded, but write them down and really make it a practice for a while to focus on these three. There comes a Rage Club offer, there comes another offer, there comes a Dream Shop offer, there comes another offer. If it's not somehow feeding this game world that you're building out, you're not doing it.
Wow.
So, and I have a name that comes up, and I'm going to gift that to you, and you do with it what you want. But like, you're an invention catalyst.
Mm.
This could be a working title. And so, yeah, so even like, you go to hold BCB. Okay, great. Do that and use that as your research for the purpose of your university appearance. Because you will need to build bridges to people that have never heard some of the terms that you're so familiar with. How do you build those bridges? How how do you become the bridge? So then,
Mm.
then everything that you do is focused or is directed onto this, like your purpose is clear, make your purpose clear. The clearer you have your purpose, and then you go with that. Like it really is like, this is what your anger is for. To commit to that and to declare, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm up to, make yourself visible with, this is what I'm up to. And here are work talks, and you pay $10 for that. Or here are one-on-one coachings, half an hour, you pay, I think $20 is not enough, $30, $40. Give some away for free. So I'm already, yeah, I'm going a bit fast right now. So I'll just let that first part breathe for a moment.
Mm. Yeah, what I'm thinking is happening in me right now is that clarity of direction. Um, and this is manifesting somehow in my pull to go to archaearch invention centers. Like it's been really naturally in a way. I mean, like natural. I my pull is going there, and I'm not had still so much why, but now when I listen, you giving it back and adding the clarity, I can feel it like the things I'm doing it is in that direction. And this the value of receiving that clarity from you right now is that I have more the distinction to cut to kill possibilities. This is valuable for me because if I know that this is where I'm going to, I have the the needle to explode this balloon and to kill that possibilities because this is not the balloon that I am being. And this is happening, for example, the dream space. This is things that I love is to cavitate possibilities so people can like, okay, this is possible to make a game world about dreams. This is such an amazing bridge to archaearchy that dreams is not an analytical thing, that you can use dreams to access feelings and emotions. Okay, and then I don't want to carry on that. I want to pass on. Like who has the fire to evolve that part that and maybe it's for 1 month, 2 months, doesn't matter. I pass on. And then I want to go to the next thing. And now I'm collaborating on three and since I'm pulling to Mexico to in Lacash, and is that fire to go in archaic convention centers because in that territories I want to unfold that, unfold, be catalytic with that creation. And this is something that is like dropping right now. It's like, okay, this is so natural for me. I feel sad. This is so natural that I wrote down that EHP, why I would exchange money for that. So, and then this is where I split myself because I thought that I cannot exchange money for this, what is natural for me because it's easy. And then I have to do more effort to create money and then create the separation. So um yeah, that is something I can not make money easy
Yeah, that's like a meme about money. And it's
and
good, like, yeah.
need to be hard.
Hard. Yeah. It's very
And
common.
then
Yeah, go.
um and then and then I can go. Like then I can do it. This is what I'm already doing it, but like then I don't need to I separate for some reason. I feel fear of going more there and being intellectual, but there's some separation I do. That what I love, that clarity of direction, and then adding on things to have money.
Yeah. And yeah, again, like there's a whole money, like the shifting your point of origin with money and shifting your thoughtware around money includes EHPs and it includes experimenting. I think you may have looked at the Become Money website before. That is one possibility. And a possibility is
And
also, yeah.
can you say like one or two experiments it comes right now from you
Hmm.
that I could try out about money?
Yeah, so the experiment that I think yeah, one possibility is that it's really experimenting at this edge of at the glue point where you connect money with your non-material value. This is fake. Your non-material value has nothing to do with money. Do you get that?
Mm.
You are a living
Yes.
human being. To put a number on what you bring, on who you are, and what your skills are, just from being who you are and from developing or unfolding who you are and putting all these resources in so that you are who you are, growing up. This is priceless. You cannot put money on that. Like it's fake. It's a human invention to put money on a human being's non-material value. And so the experiment would be at this edge to pull this apart. The story that my non-material value has monetary value. This is fake. So you're entering actually a game world where you can play with money because it says nothing. If people pay you $1 for your non-material value, it's just as random as if they pay $1 million for your non-material value. So what you're actually doing is you're wanting money so that you can keep delivering this non-material value because in the world that you're interacting with, money is a currency, even if it's not your culture. But to interact with modern culture, you will want some of that to be able to travel, to be able to buy some groceries, to be able to whatever, yeah, to have a phone and a laptop and so on, clothing. And so what you want to do is find a price for your non-material value that makes it that interacts with the game world the way the game world functions. And the game world of money functions by if it's too cheap, it's not worth anything. That's one thing. If it's too expensive, I can't afford it. These are some memes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can start experimenting. So the possibility is to experiment with putting different prices on that and asking for feedback or checking for feedback. And then having curious conversations about it. So by that you get so it's like a market research. It's a research about the value for the services you're offering that works. Not because this is the value, the monetary value, but because it works. Does that make
And
sense?
what does it make work? What is can you, because one of the compass that I use if work is if the person is paying or not. And then the result that I've been collecting I create is people that comes that don't have money or that want to pay less. So when you
Mhm.
say work, what
Well,
another
that works
compass?
in that people are willing to pay. So if you give your money, if you give your service away, they're not paying. And so you need to go and work somewhere else and you need to put your energy somewhere else in order to be able to resource your being non-material value. And so, mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's like in a rage club if it's the what experiments have shown is that $20, 20 euros per session works. It is a barrier, so it's not given away for free, but most people can afford that. So people come and pay that price. It's something they're willing to pay. But if I was, I don't know, it also depends on your environment. So that would be your research. How does it work with the people that are in my circle or with the people that I want in my circle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're approaching students, it might be that, yeah, that there's a certain price for younger people that works so that they can that it's accessible for them, but also makes makes for the boxes visible that the immense value that you bring. So it's making visible the value.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell you, but like the working, like what I would put as a working is that, yeah, probably also through conversations, because there's gremlins involved that want to have a bargain. Yeah. But it's like, okay, when you're having people that show up and they say yes to your offers, or they say no, or you start a conversation about the price, and then you're researching, okay, for this person, this is too much, or so it works in that you can offer your service for that price and people actually accept it for that price.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that would be a research of putting a price and experimenting with different prices and asking for feedback and coaching also.
Mm-hmm.
Not immediately, only after, like, I think, yeah, ask like do the really like becoming a researcher about money, becoming an experimenter about money in connection with your value, and ungluing it from, okay, money value and non-material value belong together. They don't. It's random. And so you can play until it works. It works in
Mm-hmm.
that you can sustain your life, people get your service, and the exchange happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Another experiment you could do is to hold a work talk on money. To discover, I heard you say you are thoughtware, you're interested in upgrading thoughtware. It's like, okay, it could be a research work talk on how discovering thoughtware patterns around money in young people, even where you could attune it to the source, to the kind of people that you're wanting in your circle, because you're addressing these people.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, and the connected to the first experiment is start noticing like really where this identity of an invention catalyst, and notice in your daily life how often you are an invention catalyst, and name it. It's like, I'm doing my job as an invention catalyst right now. Do you and ask, do you notice? Like like making it visible
Mm.
first and foremost to yourself and to others. Like, this is my profession, actually. How much would this service be worth to you right now?
Mm.
And so the point of origin is really not a neediness in that place. Like it's a curiosity, researching, experimenting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can sense that it's a different taste. That's like, how much do you want to pay to my to my service? This is even the voice that I have sometimes is the next layer, like a next piece. From the time I've researched that I did not have the matrix that I have now. So it was a lot this like, how much do you want to pay it?
Mm-hmm.
And the perspective that I receive is like, oh, I'm I am working like that now. How much is worth it that for you?
Oh yeah. How much would you be
And
willing to pay?
it
Even not saying you have to pay that, but what would be the price that you would pay for this service if you had to pay? Yeah. And you can also experiment, go take it further and say, like, if like, are you willing? I'm noticing that this is what I'm bringing right now. I'm charging usually $30 for this service for half an hour. Do you want it? And if they say yes, great. If they say no, it's okay. Thank you for your honesty. And then let's continue a different conversation until you come, oh, I'm doing that again. I cannot not do that. I change my mind. I give it to you for free today, but will you tell others about it? Or whatever, you can play with. Exchange can happen in so many different ways. And there is a way of learning to actually take a stand also financially to cover the costs that you need to be the invention catalyst. Yeah.
I'm feeling joy.
Yeah. I'm glad. Do you want to go to the circle part as well? Touch upon that.
The circle part, let me check the time. We agree 1 hour, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have more 11 minutes. Actually, no, I don't want to open that topic. For now, I want to go a little bit deeper in the unfolding of where we arrive in that clarity. Like, yeah, in the unfolding of these seeds that somehow it's together, and that I sense my commitment to watery that three seeds now. And I want to distill. Okay, I will speak. I not have clarity. What is it? It's the fear. I feel fear of losing the connection with that seeds, and going to the next one and the next one. And the offer that I heard, the challenge that I heard from you is how it is to commit to this and to go, like, and to go with it. And
I have a piece that I want to give you before we finish, and that is that I heard you say, it's to go to that. And it's not so much going to that, it's coming from that. You get that? It's not about
that what this
towards that, those three goals or these three topics.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually more about connecting to your purpose, which unfolds in which shows up in these three facets, and coming from that towards. But then it's not like something. It is coming with a clear purpose and this clear intention in you, and that will enable you to have your sort of clarity to cut off possibility, or to adjust, or to negotiate, or to make sure that the spaces that you are in support these purposes, your purpose. And then there's a commitment to creating a commitment to creating university presentations and going there and building this bridge.
Mm.
And there's a commitment
Yes.
to creating this 5 training journey, feelings journey, creation, invention journey. And there's a commitment to, what's the third thing?
Is the part of the theater or the
the improvisation
improvisation as a skill
mm-hmm.
to invent also.
Yeah, a life skill for invention. Yeah, I get that. Like, this improvisation piece is actually, it's like that actually, yeah, that actually is totally part of the other two. So as you're holding the space, and we're coming a bit to the circle building, because like if you're offering these spaces, then make sure that people know about the other spaces you are, like that this is an essential skill that will be practiced here and there, unfolded more, and that is for that. That is for that. And if they want to be on a further journey with you, then
Mm-hmm.
it serves a purpose. Improvisation is, it's high level fun in the moment, and that's great. And I get like your purpose is beyond that, because everybody could go to an improvisation theater, and you're giving something more. It's got a different purpose than, or it's got a purpose for something greater. than having fun in the moment
Mm-hmm.
and taking on a challenge in the moment. It's like, okay, building matrix actually so that you can invent. And you need identity shifting, you need improvisation skills to be able to really authentically do that outside your boxes.
Mm. The picture I'm getting is that I'm I'm not going there in each one of these things. Like I'm going there and then I come back here and I go there and then I come back here. This is where my fear comes from. And it just rises the my commitment to go to that EHP because like this this is a wall that I'm facing. This I I need to separate and and I don't want to be defined in that thing. So I go there and then I come back. It is a totally different perspective of moving from. So I can be in a pub and my the place I'm moving from is and is this fire of discovering how invention goes. Looking at these people drinking there and inventing ways to reach out to them. Like this is the picture that comes. I'm not dependent on the circumstance or the um on the fruit of the tree.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the distinction. Moving to going to like a outcome orientated. Okay, I'll do that, and shifting into moving from.
Yeah. Cool. What is like what is alive in you about like one thing that you're gonna, apart from the healing process, like what is alive in you as a next step, like a really specific next step for your, yeah. I noticed you said the EHP and that I gave you some experiments for money,
Yeah,
experimenting.
I'm. What is really alive for me to move from here, besides the EHP, is this research about disconnecting the non-material value from money. Um, because this is creating the stuckness of allowing echo also to to receive different money quantities from different places because I'm associating
Mm-hmm.
the I need to provide more so I receive more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I will research that. I want to research that in a different perspective. And there's something about writing. I want to write from that place of invention.
Yeah.
And one idea that came was is to do videos like weekly videos of of uh inventing from this place, telling what is possible, like letting my seed speak um about something that I see, for example, the dream space that unfolded, um and share it, possibilities of invention.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Thank
My
you.
life now.
Cool. Have fun and keep me
Yeah, thank you
posted.
for navigating this space and bringing these drops of clarity and mm, how can I say? Yeah, these drops of noticing and clarity about when I squashing the seed, and about the connections that I do that don't need to be necessarily that connections, can be another connections. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. This is my non-material value.